Shalom, I'm Dr. Victoria Sarvati, and I'm here to talk to you some more about the Candid gems that we've been putting out on YouTube. Today I want to talk to you about the Luke 5, and this is where the Pharisees are questioning Jesus about why he doesn't fast and why he doesn't have his disciples fast, like John the Baptist's disciples and the Pharisees. And Jesus has a curious comment, that as long as the bridegroom is here, why should one fast? And then he goes on to tell a parable. And in the parable, he talks about the patching a garment with new material, and because the garment that is old is flimsy or worn out, it cannot hold that new material in. But then he goes on to talk about the new wineskins. And this is a curious parable, and I think a lot of people are confused by it, and they think that maybe the new wineskin is the church or the New Testament, the new covenant, just the new faith that Yeshua was talking about. But he was actually talking about something a little bit different. And if you go into the last part of that chapter in Luke 5, you'll find that he says that when you pour the old wine into new wineskins, they'll burst. And then he says that most people know that when you've drank the old wine, it's better. So isn't that curious that the old wine is better? So is he saying that the new wine isn't as good? That's pretty much what he's saying. So it really can't be about the New Testament or the good news. We know that that information is better. So what was he trying to get across, that the old wine is better? Well, this is what it means if we go back and understand this Hebraically. Back in those days, there was a lot of things put on the people, fence laws, laws that were not really Torah-related laws. Well, they were Torah-related, but they weren't Torah. It wasn't as if this was what the Bible said to do, but it was how the sages or the rabbis interpreted the Bible and told the people to walk in this way, have this type of halakha, walk in the Bible or walk in the instructions in this manner. And many of them added fast. Even John the Baptist added fast for the people to seek God and know that, what his desire for you is, and to get closer to him. And all that is really good. It's a good thing, good advice. But what Yeshua was saying was that there are fasts already determined in the Torah. In fact, there is a required fast in Leviticus 23, and it has to do with Yom Kippur. It has to do with not eating at all. Also, there's a fast of leaven in the Feast of Unleavened Bread, also mentioned in Leviticus 23. So basically, what he was saying is that we already have fast established by the Word of God. The Word of God is true, and it's viable, it's real. You don't have to add more to what God has already written in His Word for us to do. And so to add more on top of it becomes burdensome to the people. And they can't be under such a burden when there's so many fasts and so many rules that are really basically fence laws around the Torah to keep us from breaking the law. So basically he was saying that the new wine, the new things, the new fast is burdensome. But God has already put in His Word all that we need. All that we need to grow closer to Him. And the fasts that are there are required. And I believe His Spirit is on those days for us to enter into His appointed time, to find His heart, and to dedicate ourselves to Him. So it's important for us to know that we should stay with Torah, stay with the instructions of God that are written inside of us, that give us peace, that give us direction, and that we can lean on. And I thank God that He's written all of that in our hearts. And we don't have to add to the Torah and make it a burdensome thing. But that old wine, the wine of the Word of God, is good, and it tastes good, and it is good for you. So God bless you as you partake of His Word.